Afternoons with Laura Tchilinguirian on ABC Radio Canberra.
Now, did you ever invent something when you were a kid? You may have thought it was the coolest thing ever, but was it cool enough to win you a national award and a trip to NASA? Well, 11-year-old Bella Winfield from St Anthony's Parish Primary School in Wanniassa has just been announced, this morning in fact, as the national winner of Origin's Little Big Idea in the grade 5 to 6 category. Her invention was singled out from more than 1,000 entries, and I've got Bella Winfield in the studio with me, along with her dad, David. Hello there.
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming in and congratulations.
Thank you.
So tell me, what have you invented?
My idea was sugarcane plastic toys.
Mm-hmm.
So plastic can be made out of sugarcane pulp. So that means that the plastic can be recyclable and biodegradable. And so my idea was to make toys out of sugarcane plastic.
Is that something you learned about in school?
Well, I guess you could say that. I got the idea when my school had a delivery of sugarcane plastic water bottles.
Ah.
And so I guess you could say it was in school.
Yeah. And what sort of toys are we talking about here?
I think at the moment it's just dolls and action figures, but they would come with books so that you can read and learn about them.
And that can also be recycled, of course, from recycled paper.
Yes.
That's great. How did you find out that you'd won today?
Well, I was at assembly at school, especially assembly that was called, and I had no idea what it was. And then it was announced and I was really surprised. Turns out my parents had known since last Wednesday.
All right. So, David, how did you manage to keep that a secret from her for so long?
With a lot of trouble. We were, just very excited inside and having to behave relatively normal on the outside. Yes.
Bella, how did you find out about the competition?
We heard a radio interview with last year's winner about this time last year.
Okay. So that made you sort of inspired to want to enter the competition?
Yes.
Okay. And did you know why you won? Like, did you understand the whole... Do you know what I mean? Like, did you, with your invention, how confident were you that you were going to win this?
I didn't really think I was going to win it. I never really... I did consider it, but I never really thought I would win because there are lots of other really fantastic ideas in the competition.
So did you see some of the other ideas that you were up against?
Yeah, so there was for example, edible tape so that you can seal your wraps and sandwiches.
Really?
Yes.
Never thought about that. Okay.
And there was also a button that you could press on a remote controller to press the traffic light button so you wouldn't have to reach out and press it yourself.
Okay, that would be handy for disabled people, I guess.
Yes.
Right. Well, sounds like your idea was pretty incredible as well. Did you sort of consider that was up there with the competition?
Well, I just tried not to think about it until it was announced because I didn't want to get my hopes up.
So what went into putting your entry in? What did you have to provide?
We had to provide a video that we made ourselves that explained things about our idea that the judges might want to know. Mm-hmm. And what I did was I drew pictures on my whiteboard and took pictures of them to explain my idea because that's the easiest way for me to express my ideas. Right.
David, how involved were you? Was Mum and Dad?
Not incredibly involved. It's all Bella's idea.
Amazing.
The sugarcane plastic water bottle episode was about maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And Bella,
2 years ago.
2 years ago, thank you. And Bella had been talking about it ever since, a lot, with lots of enthusiasm. And then Trish, my wife, saw the Little Big Ideas competition and suggested Bella went for it. Yeah. There was then another few months to the deadline and... Bella was very persistent about getting it together, and absolutely, all power and congratulations to her. It's entirely her idea. All I did was hold the iPad to make the video, and that was about it. So.
Wonderful. My guests here on ABC Radio Canberra this afternoon are Bella and David Winfield. And Bella is 11 years old from St Anthony's Parish Primary School in Wanniassa. She's turned up in her school uniform, and she's actually wearing a lab coat which has the little Big Idea logo on it that she was given it for being a finalist as part of this competition. And she has just been announced the national winner of Origin's Little Big Idea in the grade 5 to 6 category. Bella, why do you feel that it's so important to make more sustainable and recyclable toys?
It makes life better for the future, so there won't be as much pollution or as much problems to solve in the future. And as well as making the world a better place, it would make kids happy to have toys.
Mm-hmm. Very much so, of course. We've got to always keep that in mind, don't we? How did the school react when they heard you'd won today?
Well, all of my friends were really excited that I was going to America.
Yeah.
And everybody was really supportive and excited for me. And it was really, really
It's a weird feeling, isn't it? So what happens now? Tell me about the prize.
So sometime next year, I get to go to America and NASA with my family. And we're probably going to go to Disneyland too.
Of course, because you'll be in Florida, which is fantastic.
Yes. And
what will you do at NASA, do you know?
I don't really know much about what we're going to do.
I suppose you'll get a tour.
Yeah, we'll get a tour. But that's
about all you know so far.
Learning about all of it. I'm really excited.
That's great. So, David, you'll all be going as a family, will you?
Absolutely, without question.
Wonderful.
It's such a great opportunity. Yeah.
Bella, have you already thought about what you want to do with your life? Big question for an 11-year-old.
I probably want to be an author or a journalist.
Excellent. Well, you can come in here for work experience.
Or a radio presenter.
Fantastic. Happy to have you come in any time. That's great. So you'll go sort of next year sometime, no set plans as yet?
The first half of the year, that's all we've got planned so far. Yeah.
Do you know what they're going to do with your Little Big Idea now? Do you know if it'll be developed?
Yeah, I think it'll be developed by engineers and I will help a lot. Obviously.
So you'll be involved with
that? I've seen what happened with some of the other past winners' ideas. Most of them are still developing their ideas because it takes a long time to make it happen.
Sure. But that's still really exciting to know that one day it'll become a reality.
Yes.
Is there any particular toy you have in mind or a doll you have in mind to kick things off with once the first, the first thing is off the line?
I like that they'd come with books. Like some of them can be from different stages in history, like the Gold Rush or something. And it would be really educational, which would also be good.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Afternoons with Laura Tchilinguirian on ABC Radio Canberra. Streaming now at abc.net.au/Canberra.